All right, welcome back to Famous Poker Series Goliath, everybody. We have a famous spotlight with a professional poker player, I guess we can say. I think so. Professional poker player and habitual poker player, Ruthless. That doesn't sound right. I don't know. Ruth Hall is her name. They call her Ruthless, but I've met her a few different times, watched her on Facebook. It must be something at the tables because she's anything but ruthless in person. So I guess let's get right into it. You came out here a couple weeks ago for a short stint during the World Series, went back home, now you're back. When you first came out here, what'd you do right when you got to town?
Well, I decided to play some of the deep stack events at the Rio. They've got great value. You've got the 3 p.m., the 6 p.m., or the 10 p.m., pretty deep. And the 6 p.m., I was very fortunate to bring home some of the money. So that's where I was at on the first trip. Trip number 2, I played the monster stack, was able to cash until my aces got cracked.
We don't allow bad beat stories. Do you not watch the videos?
And then third event, here I am at the Lips Ladies International Poker Series at the Phamous Series.
So, a true poker player, obviously you're saying you got fortunate, but I watch you on Facebook. We haven't met quite a few times, but you always seem to be making runs, posting about great poker stories. Obviously, I think your frequency to cash is relatively high. I guess, how did you start getting into poker, and at what point did it become maybe a competitive thing where you realized, hey, this is cool. If I play habitually, I can start making some money.
Right. Well, when I was starting, it was obviously home games, then bar poker leagues, which in Texas we don't have casinos, so we have to travel. Then I ended up in Oklahoma for a year where I actually grinded every day playing daily events with the servicemen and ranchers and a lot of locals in 3 different casinos. Tend to be the only female at the final tables, and so realized that...
Final tables. She said that final tables.
So realized this might be something that I could pursue a little more aggressively.
Now, you talk about your job back home. You seem relatively successful. You talk about being in a high percentage of your profession, I guess. Right. You're doing the same thing in poker all the time. So what don't you do?
Well, I'm not home a lot. I do travel for work and I travel for poker. I'm a circuit grinder, meaning that I go to the WSOP circuit events in different states. So it really, I guess the one thing I don't do is spend a lot of time at home, which I could regret a little bit, but that comes with the territory.
Okay, so I guess moving on, you have a Lips Championship under your belt, correct?
I do. I was the 2009 Poker Queen, and this year I actually won 2 other Lips events, one being in the Reno, Nevada Ladies State Champion, and the other one at my home casino, little plug, in Oklahoma. And yes, and that was also a Lips Championship.
Just tearing it up. I guess congratulations on getting your banner recently. That was a semi-public story, so congrats on finally getting your hands on that. That's certainly a wonderful thing. So I guess another thing we want to talk about are ladies' events. There's multiple perspectives out there, whether they should exist, whether they shouldn't exist. Obviously, we've heard pros and cons to both sides of this. As obviously a supporter of ladies' events, I'd love to kind of get your perspectives on both sides, I guess.
Right. Well, I'm testimonial that it works, that someone that stays at home and plays home leagues can evolve and get out and play with the circuit grinders and the higher level of casinos. And I would say that what happens is the ladies are a little bit intimidated, number one, to enter a poker tournament that's full of males. And secondly, they really need a venue that they can step into to step up. And it's a stepping block. Not that so much that they can't compete with the men. I can compete with the men. Many women can. And you can see there's lots of women in the open event right now for your main event. But it's a stepping stone. If you want to see more females in the casinos, in the poker rooms, you have to offer the ladies only to get them going. And that's just my opinion, but it worked for me, and I'm living proof that it does evolve.
Here at Planet Hollywood Famous Poker Series, we are certainly a huge supporter of the ladies' events. This is our first time hosting ladies' events, and between the Tag Team Switch event on Wednesday, the Satellite Thursday, the main event right now, we're easily going to push probably north of 1,000 or so entrants, which is incredible. I mean, obviously, Planet Hollywood, I think we have more ladies playing in our series than anywhere else, whether it's the Lips events or our open events, so that's certainly a great thing. We welcome everyone to play here. We certainly support anything that gets more people into poker, no matter what that is. You can give Ruth a follow on Twitter. Her address, her Twitter handle is going to scroll right down here for you. You can see what she's up to. You maybe don't want to play where she's playing because she's probably going to beat you. She is going to win, whether you're male, female, she doesn't care. At the table, she's ruthless. Off the table, she's anything but ruthless. So, Ruth, we certainly appreciate your time. We're so thankful that you're here playing. We'll see you in November for our circuit event, I hope.
You bet. Thank you so much.
All right, again, give us a follow on Facebook, everybody, PH Poker. Give us a follow on Twitter at PH_poker. Thanks, and we'll see you at the tables.